Once again, the President of the Republic of Kenya has cautioned the judiciary over their decision on August 8th. Kenyatta, who once promised to revisit the judiciary setup, continues to demean the independence of the judiciary. According to political analyst Michael Tiempate, there's need of separation of powers, which means that the judiciary should be able to work without interference from the executive or the legislature, and that judges should be able to judge cases independently, impartially, and in accordance with the law.
The judiciary must be mindful of the effects of its actions on the other arms of government, and how will it affect the lives of ordinary Kenyans.
He further stated that the principle of separation of powers differentiates between the powers held and exercised by the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive. The principle of separation of powers contains an element of independence of the three separate arms of the government.
Administration of justice is attained when the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary work together, and not just when the judiciary acts alone.
In Kenya, I think we know what the kind of democracy that we want. We want a democracy where everybody has their space. Everybody must be heard, irrespective of the level of political, economic, or social influence they might have.
And it's for the first time that Kenyans have seen a Chief Justice who has stood his ground in his landmark rulings.
We may not always rule in favor of the government. This does not mean we are enemies. The high-minded doctrine of separation of powers and principles of the rule of law are sometimes necessarily inconvenient, but they need not be a basis for inter-branch friction.
Political pundits continue to argue that the ruling, however, showed an adherence to the law, independence of the judiciary, and an end to the days when political and diplomatic expediency overrode the operation of the law.